What if the deadliest experiments ever conducted on British soil never left a single official trace? Imagine a place hidden behind layers of barbed wire in the rolling hills of Wiltshire, a place that officially studies defense science, but unofficially became the most secret laboratory in the United Kingdom. This is the story of Porton Down. For decades, even Parliament knew little of what truly happened beyond its fences. It was founded in 1916, born from the horrors of World War I, with a noble mission: to counter German gas attacks and save lives. But somewhere along the way, that mission twisted. Porton Down became a frontier where ethics dissolved in the mist. Its history reads like a classified horror anthology written in the name of national security. We're talking about everything from mustard gas to nerve agents, from anthrax spores to mind-controlled drugs. Cold War documents, now declassified, paint a chilling picture. Between 1945 and 1989, hundreds of servicemen were brought here. They were told they were helping to test cures for the common cold or new protective ointments. In reality, they were exposed to experimental chemicals, unknowingly inhaling substances that could change their lives forever. They signed official secrets acts, binding them to silence about things they didn't even understand. Some went home coughing blood. Others, tragically, never came home at all. When their families begged for answers, they were met with a wall of denial. The official line: every trial was voluntary. But memos from the time show a different story, one of pressure, deception, and a phrase stamped on every form: for crown purposes only. By the 1950s, the Cold War had intensified the race to weaponize biology, while America tested its nukes. Britain pursued microbes. Inside Porton Down, scientists cultivated anthrax in vast steel vats. They studied Plagarian fleas, and they aerosolized deadly nerve gas in underground tunnels. The margin for error was non-existent. A single mistake could have wiped out a town, and sometimes it almost did. Take the infamous incident on Gruinard Island, off the coast of Scotland. In 1952, a secret anthrax test went wrong, leaving the soil poisoned and uninhabitable for nearly half a century. But the tests weren't always so remote. Close to Ome. Close to home. Close to home. Clouds of zinc cadmium sulfide were deliberately released over Wiltshire villages. Without a single word of warning, it was a simulation, a way to track how a biological agent might spread. Officially, the substance was harmless. Unofficially, it was later classified as a possible carcinogen. For years, the families living beneath those chemical clouds had no idea they were part of an experiment. One of these tests drifted directly over the city of Salisbury, its residents breathing in a military simulation, while being told it was just meteorological research. The human mind itself became another battlefield. During the swinging 60s, Porton Down turned its attention to a new kind of weapon. LSD volunteers, often servicemen, reported terrifying hallucinations, extreme panic, and days of lost memory. The human cost of these experiments is not just a statistic. It is a name Rona Madison. In 1953, this young Royal Air Force airman was told he was participating in a safe test. He was exposed to sarin, a potent nerve agent. He collapsed and died within minutes. His death was classified as an accident, a secret held for almost 50 years. It took his family a half-century-long fight for a new inquest, which finally ruled his death an unlawful killing. Yet, no one was ever prosecuted. By then, the name Porton Down had become synonymous with state secrets. There were whispers of joint programs with the Americans, specifically with Fort Detrick, their own biological warfare hub. MI6 and the Ministry of Defense flatly denied it, but archival leaks eventually revealed exchange missions and shared research. Was Britain secretly developing offensive bioweapons, violating international treaties it had signed? Or was it all just defensive preparation? The line between the two had blurred long ago. Even today, the facility's work is carefully described with phrases like public health and threat reduction, words that conceal far more than they reveal. Deep inside climate-controlled vaults lie frozen vials. Their labels stark. High containment pathogen. Do not open without authority. The staff who work there are a special breed. They undergo intense psychological vetting, use biometric access systems, and sign silence agreements that follow them beyond the grave. Whistleblowers have described a maze of corridors with coded locks and rooms that require 2 officers to enter simultaneously. One to witness, the other to work. What about the smallpox virus, which was supposed to have been eradicated worldwide in 1980? Some believe duplicates were secretly preserved right here, kept for study. Then came the Salisbury Novichok attack in 2018. When a former Russian spy and his daughter were poisoned, it was Porton Down that identified the military-grade nerve agent within hours. How? Officially, it was a testament to their world-class expertise. Unofficially, it was damning evidence that Porton's database held the chemical formulas for every deadly agent created during the Cold War. How far back does that dark archive go? Satellite images show that the facility is still growing. New complexes have been added since the year 2000, sprawling beneath artificial hills, hidden from public view. Leaked documents mention something called Category 5 containment, a biosafety level beyond anything officially known to exist. Inside, rumors persist about hybrid pathogens, next-generation countermeasures tested on primates, and even DNA-targeted compounds, hypothetically able to disable specific ethnic groups. Is this a conspiracy theory or a terrifying prototype? No one outside the fence knows for sure. When journalists file Freedom of Information requests, they often get back pages of nothing, stamped with 2 words: national security. And yet, hundreds of millions of pounds of public money flow into the facility every single year. In 2015, the government tried to give it a friendlier face, rebranding parts of it as the Defense Science and Technology Laboratory, or DSTLA. A new name for the same old fortress. Residents of nearby Salisbury sometimes report seeing strange plumes rising from the site at night, accompanied by the low, constant hum of turbines. Some locals have a name for it: the Breathing Hill. They say it exhales every dusk, drawing secrets up from the earth. Former workers have hinted that the research has now moved beyond test tubes and into the digital realm, synthetic biology machines that can grow, viruses designed to self-destruct, and nanobots that can deliver either medicine or death, depending on a line of code. The moral frontier has shifted from chemistry to algorithms. The official tours, when they happen, show visitors harmless experiments with microbes on plants, but cameras are strictly forbidden beyond Zone 4. That's where, they say, the real legacy of Porton Down lives on, a living archive of everything humanity has ever feared to unleash. A scientist from the facility once told a BBC interviewer, "We study how to stop pandemics." When pressed on whether they could also start *1, he simply smiled and said nothing. Perhaps that silence was the answer. Every empire has a secret chamber, a place it cannot or will not explain. For Britain, that chamber may lie deep beneath the Wiltshire soil at Porton Down, where science, secrecy, and morality are forever intertwined. Its mission has always been about control. But the question remains, control of what and for whom? As new diseases emerge and global powers race towards biological supremacy, the shadow of Porton Down stretches longer and darker than ever. The gates remain closed, the fences grow taller, and the answers become fewer. Maybe the real experiment is the one being conducted on all of us. A test of our willingness to simply believe we are being protected. Because in the end, Porton Down may not just hold the secrets of a government, it may hold the future itself. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the unknown as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.